anybody even in here yet?
Yeah, there's people in here,
Oh, I didn't even see that.
and we're live.
It shows one person.
We're live. I've seen Will Cree, Hyderman Blue, Daniel B, Sarah K. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It's so early.
Well, then go to bed.
Okay.
Who needs you? Poop.
Later.
Disappears. Oh, he's like, oh, thank God. And he's gone.
Mike looks zoomed in.
Of course he does. Looks like he has a filter on, too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. You know, Mac probably
I don't have a filter.
does that automatically.
Tries to make me
Probably.
automatically look like a liberal.
Yeah.
It gives you green hair.
A purple hair.
And 6 earrings on each side.
Ah!
And a tie-dye shirt. What are you doing? You're so dumb.
Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. We can keep on going. Oh, it's so stretchy right there.
I was gonna say, it's like
Do I look zoomed in still?
She just replies, "Can you go back further, like out of the picture a little bit, or
Keep
no?
going. Open the window. Now jump out.
What floor are you on? Open the window, jump out." And now I have oh, good. Come on. Now I have with arms wide open.
With arms wide
in
open.
my head.
Heck
Thanks
yeah,
for that.
dude.
And I don't
Well,
know any.
here's
other
another
part of
one.
that song
Can
except
you
for that.
take me higher?
Yeah.
How do you guys even have a voice like in the morning? I just got nothing.
Because I drink coffee.
Because we're the songbirds of our generation.
And it's true. You guys practice even when you're sleeping. You guys are humming and shit. Like, what is he doing? Oh, that's just Elijah.
I kiss you on the mouth, Kenny Rogers.
He's a songbird.
The clown has no
The
penis.
songbird. Imagine being described as a songbird to people.
That's how Dave's going to introduce me at his party tonight. This is Mike.
Songbird.
We call him the Songbird.
Please do that.
I have to do introductions at my party. It'd be like Dwight when he was.
I want to be announced. Yeah.
P.P. Halpert.
Mike the Songbird.
This is so good. What a great show.
We're not even really doing the show yet.
Yeah.
I think he just meant The
It's just
Office.
fan bonus. Oh, The Office? Oh,
Not our show.
well,
Our
that's
show
kind of
sucks.
as good as our show.
Jim Halpert. And then Jim like turns around
Jim!
and leaves again.
Oh,
Jim. I forgot my keys.
Jim.
Hmm.
I forgot my keys. God, that's so good.
If you do, you need to record it and share it in the Discord. If he intros me at his party tonight.
That'd be so funny.
Fair enough. If somebody records it, I'll post it. I don't know how much I'll need to be introduced. I think I'll probably know a lot of people there. I would guess.
I know some people there.
Some people?
Well, not everybody.
Well, I wouldn't anticipate knowing everybody.
Well, you know I have those regular gangbangs, and you're not a part of.
Thank goodness.
What? Why? Did it make it quiet?
It was all warbly and slow.
What is wrong with StreamYard?
I don't know what.
You're just saying that because I'm 50.
Oh, it does sound weird.
Yeah.
Ah, there it goes.
With arms wide open. Yeah. Yeah. Can you take me higher?
You can't go with the music.
Yes, you can.
Not you.
Oh, you're the
Oh, why is it
songbird
on a
now.
loop again?
Welcome to the
hate
Failure
you,
to Stop
StreamYard.
podcast, everyone.
Ooh.
Part of the Failure to Stop family of podcasts, the #1 show where law enforcement meets culture. This is the off the cuff edition where Dave, myself, and the UPP, we're going to react and engage with current law enforcement news from around the country. It's okay. You can sleep safe in your beds at night knowing we are out on the internet making sure we get all the facts for you along that thin news line.
Very, very thin.
Extremely thin, razor thin, Sarah Kelch thin. Sarah turns sideways and is gone. The old joke. You're so thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get so you disappear.
Although I know a lot
see
more
it behind
your-
that grain of rice.
I remember more your mama's so fat jokes than I do thin jokes.
God, those used to be classics.
Your mom was so fat, even Dora couldn't explore.
Oh my god.
I remember I roasted some kid's life with that. in elementary
that
school.
one line?
In his life.
Yes,
Hero-
I think
hero of the
they cried.
playground.
I'm not kidding.
All the girls
Cried.
wanted to hold your hand.
Yeah.
All the girls wanted to
Fourth grade
hold
was great.
your hand.
Oh, this reminds me. Where is it? I have this photo. I gotta load it into the banners though. Hold on, because this reminded
Not
me of-
banners, the
of
brand.
brand. I gotta load it into the brand.
So violent.
He's so upset.
Oh, it's an HEIC image, so it won't. Thanks a lot, Apple.
What-
Ah!
Got frustrated. I think she was wearing my readers.
All right. So if I do a screenshot of this, Elijah, then I can make it a
Yeah.
PNG, right?
And if you can't figure it out, I'm on my way to do it right now.
I'm on my way.
Which means that he has zero confidence in you and he expects that you're going to fail immediately.
Nah, I got it. I got it. It's almost up. Just
I
hold
haven't
on a
seen it
second.
in the overlay folder.
It's
yet,
happening right
though.
now. It's uploading.
Man,
Here we
not-
go.
Oh, there it goes.
This is it. Oh, everybody can relate if you
Oh
went to
yeah.
This was Elijah when he was a kid after he got his Pizza Hut certificates or whatever
Heck
for
yeah.
all the reading.
How, after all these decades, is that a true? Because that would have been a true statement for us, even.
Oh,
You
for
know.
sure.
Dude,
Yeah.
classic book fair was a big deal.
Huge deal. It was, and we could never.
Happy birthday, Dave.
Oh my God, that's my
That was
best.
before
smile,
Dave had
too.
his gastric bypass.
That's just wrong.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
Anyway, if you guys aren't seeing what we're talking about on the screen, that's because you are not a member of the YouTube channel. The members get a special perk and see this show get recorded live. We kind of talk before and after before the record button is hit too, and just hang out with the crew a little bit, smoke and joke. So that's a little perk. If you want to support the show other ways, you can just subscribe to whatever audio service you listen to. You can subscribe on YouTube if you want to watch the other shows that we do broadcast publicly. You can go to failuretostop.com and grab merch. You can support. We did get a sponsor. We got Ghostbed, baby. So
Nice.
use the code Wolfpack for Ghostbed, and that'll get you a beautiful, beautiful, comfortable bed. So I've got a beautiful bed. Ghostbed, code Wolfpack. Anna
Actual
is
audio from Donald Trump. Just so you
sleeping
guys
in the
all
other
know.
room, and she's going to hate me when she gets up. I've got a beautiful bed. Slept
How
so
did we
good.
get this audio from Donald Trump? That was pretty good, incredible footage.
Yeah, man, the Trumpster, he loves the ghost bed. So don't
Always has.
be left behind. Always has. Some attribute his campaign, the strength of his campaign, the energy he had on the campaign trail to the good night's sleep he's getting on his ghost bed.
It's actually scientific fact, and I don't remember what study it is. You'll have to look it up on Wikipedia. But I do know for a fact that if you sleep in a ghost bed, you only need half the amount of sleep than a normal human would.
Yes.
So that's, I mean, like I said, that's Wikipedia. That's
You
Sein-
remember the old Seinfelds where Kramer was only trying to sleep like 20 minutes a day with little naps or something. I can't remember if that was the exact ratio, but
Oh, it's so good.
so funny. I think I have like 3 episodes left of that show to finish it all again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I haven't
You know,
watched it like a month, but
Allie watched. Allie and Jose ended up watching the whole series of Seinfeld.
amazing.
Yeah, it is. That's awesome.
Yeah, Elijah won't do it. He says the references are too outdated.
No, that okay.
Oh.
First of all,
And he's a bitch.
that's not what I said. It's the same reason I won't watch Friends. It's a laugh track.
Oh, good lord! You fucking. You know what?
Can't do
you
it,
know
man.
what? Here's the
It's
problem.
cringy.
You won't notice
It's
the laugh track if
cringy.
you laugh when you're supposed to, because you'll be at the same time as them.
Maybe I
Yeah.
just don't like being told when to have a reaction
Oh,
to something.
stop it!
I think Seinfeld was in front of a live audience, though.
Yeah, but it's just
So
like
was Friends.
Yeah,
but
so
they
that wasn't a laugh
pause.
track.
Yeah, did you know in live audiences they have signals to tell them when to laugh
Yeah.
Yeah,
or gasp? Yeah, you're an
Yeah.
idiot.
of course.
I
So
w-
no. Let me tell you. Let me tell you who's. I'm not going to call you an idiot.
That
Let
70
me
show
tell
is
you who
good,
the
sir.
idiot is here. It's you, because you're saying that you won't. Basically, you won't watch any entertainment apparently that has a laugh track involved with it.
Yeah.
It could literally be the funniest show on TV, but you would never know because you're so snotty. And I said it.
I've tried watching
Oh,
I've
no,
tried
you-
watching Friends. I've
He just
tried
can't do
watching
it. He's so
Seinfeld.
pure in his humor, Dave, that he
I
cannot
couldn't
possibly
get
do it.
past it, man. I couldn't get
his
past it.
humor is so refined that he couldn't possibly think about it as he's watches TV with his pinky out.
Just go watch Seinfeld. Like look up Seinfeld without the laugh track, and
And
you'll
it's
just
funny,
you'll
and I will
see how
laugh.
I see it.
Mike,
It's
I'm gonna do an
awful.
impression of
Yeah, that's
Elijah.
exactly what Elijah's doing.
I'm
his
watching a TV show,
And the
without
thumb
laugh
on his
track.
other hand is sitting on his is on his butt. He's sitting on it.
He's like,
Yep.
I'm gonna put this in place.
Multitasking.
Multitasking. All right, let's get to it,
Multitasking's a
boys.
myth.
What do we got going on today? Who's opening this show with the story?
You might as well if you have that many articles.
I've got plenty, dude. I've got tons.
Yeah, I have one, a good, I think good one, but I don't have a lot of funny stuff.
I have a couple of related ones, so I can bounce back and forth or whatever
Yeah.
you want to do. But first one is I'm finally free of this job. 20-year NYPD veteran officer retires with his middle finger in the air for a viral photo.
Yes, that's my kind of guy.
Yeah, I think I'd like to have a beer with this dude. Thomas Gambardella. What a New York cop name, Gambardella. Recently, I think he partnered with Spinetti for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, when they did their undercover stint. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, that like 18 months in narcotics or whatever. Thomas Gambardella recently submitted his paperwork to officially retire from the New York Police Department, where he worked for the last 20 years. The 41-year-old Staten Island resident was a decorated officer. When his retirement became official, he posted a comment on Facebook. I never posted work pictures or work posts. A chunk of y'all probably didn't even know I worked in the NYPD, but I'm officially retired today from this sorry excuse for a shit job. Thank God I'm free at last. Not my problem anymore. I loved everyone I worked with and some of the people I worked for, but this job is no one's friend. Time to live free. I'll see you all out there. The post was accompanied by multiple photos, one of which included the divorced father of 3 wearing a Let's Go Brandon shirt, giving the middle finger to a memorial at the NYPD headquarters.
Wow.
The 2006 NYPD Officer of the Year spoke with the Post, telling them he loved the job when he started, but the gig turned to shit due to the city's soft on crime policies.
Yeah.
The now retired detective, whose Facebook profile states that he is a patriot, conservative Christian, and that he retired from the worst job in the world, did not hold him back from sharing his thoughts. He said, I was a true believer. I wasn't a bag of shit. I worked some intricate details. I gave a lot of my blood, sweat, and tears, but no more. It's the worst fucking job in the world. They own you. They're not your friends. All they talk about is Big Blue family. They don't care. If I die tomorrow, they wouldn't give a shit. If I needed something, it ain't going to happen. I'm better off just saying a prayer.
That's
Crime is
Wow,
soaring
that
and
is a
cops are
lot of
leaving in
words.
droves. Anybody can see that. All this liberalism is obviously a failure, but this is what they wanted. It's a stupid experiment, and it's the people who will pay in the end.
Yep.
Woo!
We should have him on the podcast because we say that pretty much every single episode.
Now, so I think we can really resonate with that sentiment. So yeah, before I show you the viral photo, let's talk about the sentiment. What do you take
Yeah,
out
I
of
mean,
this?
obviously he's something. Let's be honest, something must have set him off.
Yeah, for sure.
No, but yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I think that when he says that the police department doesn't care, I don't think he's far off. I think there's a lot of police departments that will
Yep.
literally just throw you under the bus, and there's a lot of which I have one of these is one of the articles I'd like to read. Civilian councils or organizations that actually have a lot more clout than they probably should.
Yeah.
And when they start calling for something because of a political agenda, the chiefs, the administration just falls right down to it. So I think absolutely. I mean, I agree with him in some ways. I mean, obviously, I have worked for some good departments, but that was truly never tested.
Yeah.
Like really, really tested on how much they're going to back you or me. That so I can't, I mean, I would like to hope that they would have dropped everything for me, whether I was injured or whether I was in a questionable shooting. My shootings were just never questioned. It wasn't just, I mean, you were investigated and I was off, but you're just not, they weren't ever like, oh my God. Like my first shooting, I actually was like, God, how long had I been there, Mike? Seriously, like a month.
It
or
wasn't
something.
long.
No, it was maybe even a couple. I mean, it was like not at all a long time. So I didn't know anybody. So after that happened, the only person
Can't
only
sit here.
dude, the only person that reached out to me was the sergeant that was involved with me. I mean, there's a lot
Yeah.
of officers, but only him and I fired, and so he was the only one. My union didn't reach out to me. However, the city administrator guy, he did. He actually called, but like then you're just, it's so fresh. Like he actually called, I think that night. I didn't answer. I just wasn't answering phone calls, and
Right.
I was getting a lot of support from people, and but they just didn't know me there. So
Yeah.
that was never super tested. And but that was the time when I was like, man, I hope I keep my job. I didn't know what was going to happen because I didn't know anything about this police department. And I knew that I figured it was a good shoot, but I wasn't the one who was going to judge that.
Yeah, right.
So I was off for, God, I think it was
That
off
doesn't
for
make
a
any
month
sense.
or
You just
two.
clear yourselves. That's how
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah, right. Let me tell you, you get very little sleep during one of those things. So it's not fun. It's like there couldn't possibly be anything worse that happens to you besides losing somebody in that line of work, except for losing somebody in that line of work, or some of the deaths that you see and all that. But man, it is just it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible for your health. It's horrible for your mind, everything. So
yeah, the job is not I've had a lot of time, obviously, since I haven't been an active cop to think about this kind of stuff. But
yeah,
I mean, there's a lot that needs to change, man. I don't think people are designed to do this job 20, 25, 30 years or whatever.
No.
I think that there needs to be some serious changes to the approach to the job and communities. You need capable people. So you can't just be like, you can't rotate people through just be a cop for 2 years, like we need people in the community to volunteer to be police officers. There's just not the least of which reasons are there is a tremendous amount of legal knowledge that has to be practically applied in this job, and it's way more than people think
and it's always
process. And it's constantly updating, constantly new different nuances of things that you have to deal with. But I do think that there needs to be different life cycles. But what happened was on the job, it became like the seniority thing, right? Where you get to earn the right to be that detective because you've sucked air for 10 years, or whatever else. There does need to be a life cycle where you're only on patrol for a certain period of time, and then you could be a training officer, and then you would go into something else. And I know that we start to get to impractical things when we talk about costs. I mean, even a friend of mine is actually a chief of police at a small place in Arkansas, and they're hiring competitively at $17.25 an hour.
Ooh, big bucks.
So, I mean, God willing, the cost of living is enough down there. But at the end of the day, and you understand, right? Like if your community only makes $35,000 a year for
Exactly.
everybody, I mean, you can't afford to just be like, oh, we should pay all of our cops $100,000 a year.
Right.
It's like,
It makes no sense.
well, I mean, we can't. We don't even make that. So how are we
Yeah.
gonna support that? So I understand that, but like, who would want to do this job under that kind of scrutiny for $17.25 an hour? Like, if you could go and work at Walmart for $16 an hour or whatever in the same area, like, just go work at Walmart, dude. Like, there's a lot of things about the job that we could talk about. I don't want to just shit on the job or whatever, but
Right.
I think I very much feel like this guy's saying what a lot of people feel, and
A lot of frustration.
some truths about the job for sure. Now, here's what kind of is the photo that went viral is here on the left, and so he's got his "Let's Go Brandon" tee on, which I fully support. But this is a memorial. This is like a fallen officer, the child of a fallen officer, and an officer watching over. That's the concept of the memorial. Like, I don't know what you would call this, statue or whatever.
Mhm.
So this though, I think points to the fact that this guy is probably just needs a hug or something. You can be upset at the job and the politics of it, but this here, I'd like to know more about his mindset of this, because conceptually, this is the good part of the job, where
Yeah.
someone who has been hurt is being protected by someone.
Well, do you
in
think
uniform.
maybe that's why he's doing that, is because, and again, like you said, without context, it's hard to say. The fact that he's doing that is basically saying, "Fuck you. You present it like that, but that is not how you are.
Yeah,
That is
that's why I
not
said, like,
who you are. Fuck
Yep.
you."
Yep.
And that's the representation of how the city wants you to see them, but the reality is something very different.
Right.
So maybe that's kind of like, actually, weirdly enough, that's like the first place I went to, not because we're talking about a 20-year vet
Right.
in New York. The guy has obviously seen his fair share of stuff. He had Officer of the Year of all of those police officers. So, which just means he knows the right people. But no, I mean, this stuff happens, right? I mean, he's obviously seen, if that's what he's done a lot of it's not like, it doesn't sound like he just went there and worked in an office. So maybe that was kind of where my mind went immediately, not like, this guy's shitting on, the fallen officers, and I don't,
Right.
for me, it just didn't quite hit that way. So
Right. Yeah, I'm curious what his mindset is there.
I'm a glass half full guy. Half full.
You always have
That's
been.
what I like.
Yep. Ah! All right, anyway, so all right, I have to pause for liberal yelling and screaming.
That's
Okay.
right.
Well,
So I
what do you
have
got?
one. Okay. Chicago Police Board rules against COPA's recommendation that Officer Evan Solano, who shot and killed Anthony Alvarez, be fired. The Chicago Police Board has decided not to fire the officer who shot and killed 22-year-old Anthony Alvarez after a foot pursuit last year, contrary to the recommendations of the Civilian Office of Police Accountability. See,
Good for them.
yeah, the chief administrator of COPA, the COPA, had recommended that Officer Evan Solano be fired for the shooting of that killed Alvarez. Police Superintendent Brown disagreed, finding there was insufficient evidence to support the claims of violating departmental rules, including claims that he had used inappropriate force. Police board member Steve Block, who reviewed the case, ruled that Solano had, acted reasonably under the circumstances. Thus, Block ruled in favor of Superintendent Brown and against the recommendations that Solano be fired. Quote, though Mr. Alvarez's death is undeniably tragic, Officer Solano and Officer Encarnacion's decision and actions on March 31st, 2021 were objectively reasonable based on the totality of the circumstances as the officers could reasonably perceive them, Block said. Now, I'm going to stop it right there because March 31st, 2021, this has been going on that long. What do you think that does to an officer and his family? Thankfully, in his, for him, it turns out it won't be much of a thing.
Right.
But the whole idea, this has been a weight on an entire family for over a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Brown had advised that Solano and his partner, Officer Sammy Encarnacion, be suspended for 20 days, which Block's ruling upheld. Chief COPA Administrator Andrea Kirsten took issue with the fact that Block made the decision himself to overrule COPA. Ooh, sorry. I hate people like that. Well, we're so important. Rather than taking the matter to the full police board. Quote, I think with cases of this consequence, a fatal police shooting where there's a lot of amounts of evidence, it is important for cases like that to advance to the whole police board, Kirsten said. I'm not certain how many instances there have been of fatal police shootings that have not proceeded to full hearings. Like are all supposed to go to full hearings, right? That's
yeah. They're all
that
supposed
should
to
give
go
you
to-
an idea of how shitty this fucking organization must be, because they're literally that's their base right there.
Yep.
I mean, it makes no sense to me, right? So, hey, great job, Chicago. So certainly we would have liked a different outcome. Alvarez was shot by Solano while holding a gun in his right hand as he was running away from Solano and his partner on March 31st, 2021. Surveillance video from the night of the shooting, which happened in the early morning hours.
He was on his way to lead an AA meeting.
Yes, that's what they say. But we'll never know. We'll never know. Which happened in the early morning hours of March 31st, shows a squad car chasing Alvarez at a gas station in Portage Park. Officer Solano's body camera shows him running down an alley and eventually around a corner onto a front lawn near Laramie Avenue and Eddy Street. Alvarez's back was facing the officer at the moment he was shot, but a gun was visible in his right hand, moving from right to left. Moving from right to left. Solano shot him in the back and knee. Ooh, that'd be a good one. Alvarez was shot and killed 2 days after another officer shot and killed 13-year-old Adam Toledo. See, why does this have to be a thing, right?
Why does that have to be
bringing that up?
Yeah,
because they're clearly related. But while Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox ruled that the officers in both incidents might have violated foot pursuit policies, she also declined to file charges against either officer. A new foot pursuit policy was unveiled this year. We think we've even talked about that. One of the biggest changes to the policy is that Chicago police officers will no longer be able to chase after someone just because they run away. Instead, officers will, the guy had a gun in his fucking hand. Instead, officers will now have to conduct a balancing test. And there also will now be accountability and data on foot chases. There you go. What do you feel about that? You feel real good about that or real bad about that?
I feel real cynical about that. I guess it's that's another example, right? It's not just an NYPD thing. It's a PD thing. It seems these days, right? Everybody wants to be like the big boys, New York, Chicago, LA, all that. And so that sort of mindset trickles down into smaller town politics and emulating this stuff. And there's a lot of problems. Number one, starting with a civilian oversight board.
Yes. Isn't that crazy?
And
then the head of that is pissed because their recommendation wasn't followed. And like any other fatal shooting, should already automatically go to hearings. What are you talking about? First of all, what a drain on the system. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? She's a drain on my oxygen. So what the hell, man? What is wrong with people?
Yeah, I wonder if the Civilian Oversight Board is paid to sit there and just criticize police officers.
Oh,
with-
you know
with
they are. And they probably make more
absolutely-
than coppers
with
too.
absolutely no experience or knowledge of the law or policies and procedures.
Yeah.
Like
It's ridiculous. And
it's
not only-
crazy.
He was the guy was running. You could see the pistol in his hand, and then he starts changing the pistol from his right to his left hand. It's just, I mean, it's an automatic thing, man. It sucks. It does. It sucks. Maybe
It
this
sucks
guy
he
had no-
decided to run with a gun in his hand from the cops.
It does. But in maybe he had zero intention of turning around and shooting or killing somebody or robbing or whatever. It doesn't matter at this point. But the reality is, the harsh reality is, this individual was running from the police with a fucking gun in his hand, not his waistband, not even in his waistband, in his hand, in which he changes hands. What
Listen,
the hell is going on?
he didn't get shot. You should know he didn't mean to. He didn't have any plans to shoot you.
Well, you should automatically assume that. Assume the best of people when you're a police officer, guys. So anytime if you guys are ever thinking about being police officers,
Oh, look
just
at that guy with
know-
the gun running away. I wonder if there's a spider. There must have been a spider.
Yeah, or oh my God, he must be running to stop crime someplace.
Yeah, he probably heard there was a robbery going on. He's going to stop it.
Yeah. So if you ever think about being a copper, just know, think the best in people, and you will never have a problem ever,
No problem.
because they will not surprise you either. People are predictable. That's for
People
sure.
people do nothing irrational ever. So got that going for us as a
Never.
society.
All right, what do you got?
Well, in kind of keeping with the quitting theme, an entire North Carolina police force, and it's a
I
small
didn't
place,
quit,
like
Mike. I'm
6.
retired.
Yeah, right. Entire North Carolina police force resigns, citing hostile work environment created by new
Dang.
town manager.
Wow.
This is there's only 6 of them, but the entire full-time staff of the Kenly Police Department resigned on Wednesday due to the hostile work environment created by the town's new manager. Kenly Assistant Town
Wow.
Manager Sharon Evans and Utilities Clerk Christy Jones also tendered their resignations.
Holy.
The chief, Josh Gibson, has been at the helm of the department for a majority of the 21 years he has served there and was the longest-running chief in Johnston County, according to the letter. I have put in my 2 weeks' notice along with the whole police department, Sharon Evans and
Wow.
Chrissy Thomas of the town of Kenly after 21 years of service. The new manager has created an environment I do not feel we can perform our duties and services to the community.
Nice.
I do not know what is next for me. I am letting the Lord lead the way. Oh, take me, Jesus. The longtime police chief wrote, I have loved this community. It's become family and one of my greatest honors to serve. God bless you all in Kenly. Chief
Man.
Gibson did not elaborate on the type of environment Kenly's new town manager, Justine Jones, has created since she took office.
I want to know.
Um,
I
Let's
bet you we can
see.
look up footage of it of her speaking. Is it? It's a she, obviously.
The mass
the
resignation
name.
left the KPD with just 3 part-time officers. They
So
made it
those are
clear those
Shit.
who opted to turn in badges made it very clear their decision had nothing to do with pay. I have enjoyed my time working with the Kenly Police Department and fully intended to remain employed with the town, but unfortunately decisions are being made which made me question what the future will hold for all town employees.
Wow.
That was police officer Darren Pate or Pate, I don't know.
Pete. That's what I want his last name to be. Pete.
Yeah. Another officer said, unfortunately, there are decisions being made that jeopardize my safety and make me question what the
Oh,
future will
shit.
hold for any Kenly police officer. Another one just said, I will really miss this community.
Oh God. They're not gonna, are they not going to live there? Or I mean, I don't even. Maybe they don't live in there in the first place. But
Yeah. Wow. I heard a blurb about this. The reason I even looked it up was that I heard a blurb that a similar situation had happened in the town this lady was in previous. She like ruined it. And it's just a
Seriously?
bunch of liberal, like a bunch of liberal policies that she was implementing. But you best believe that when 6 people plus 2 other politicians say we're not working here anymore,
yeah,
they're quitting their jobs after 21 years, or not everybody had that long, but still, when you got a cush job like that, and you're like,
Dude,
not worth
think
it.
think about this. These people, this is how people were feeding their families.
Yeah.
This is how they were supporting their family, and they're like, yeah, no, I'll just live on the street if I got to do that. I would rather, I'm not working for this person. Like, their option was, I would rather live on the street essentially
Right.
than work for this bag of garbage, whatever. And again, I don't even know what could make 8 total individuals in careers just pack it up and say, no, thank you. This is ridiculous. What are some of the policies? Does anybody freaking know? I want to
Anybody
know
know?
now.
Yeah.
God, that's amazing.
I'm
It's
trying
ridiculous.
to, I'm looking up little stories here, but nothing that gets specific. They just call it a hostile work environment.
Really?
And no, she declined to discuss the move because she said she's not at liberty to talk because of a personnel matter. She had started on June 2nd after a nationwide search, according to a statement, celebrating the hiring of a manager hailed for having, quote, worked in progressively responsible positions.
What does progressively responsible mean?
The release did not mention, however, how she had sued a previous employer in neighboring South Carolina for racial discrimination after she was fired in March of 2015. She accused Richard County leaders of hostile treatment and for not paying her fairly because she was Black and has a disability. She also accused the county of discriminating against her because she was a, quote, whistleblower who reported serious fraud, wrongdoing, and violations of the law. The lawsuit was voluntarily dismissed in April of 2017 without elaborating why. Before getting hired, Kenley had listed herself principal CPO of her own consulting company. So while the people who hired her said she had increasing positions of responsibility, she had not worked a real job since 2015.
Well, I don't think any politician can be considered having a real job. That I've never considered that an actual job. It's a good money machine, but it's just unbelievable.
So the whole police department, they just said later, we're not coming in anymore. It's 3 part-time dudes are like, hell yeah, brother, we're bringing that overtime.
So much overtime. The guy's buying boats, fucking 4-wheelers.
He'll never have time to enjoy it.
No, hell no.
Because all those 3 part-time guys. You're the part-time day shift guy. You're the part-time afternoon guy.
And that's all it is at that point, right?
How would you do that with 3 dudes, right? You'd have a 7 to 7 day, a 7 to 7 night, and then one guy filling in sporadically in between to give the other ones the breaks. It'd be crazy.
Yeah, you just, I don't think you can do it. 12 on this one. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you could leave a 12-hour gap, certain place. Nope, it's like you can't do it.
Carry the 4. Nope, it's impossible.
There's high there. Nope, you can't do it. That's ridiculous. Dude. You know, it's funny. I started looking up like ridiculous or funny laws that could still be enforced. Dude, there's some good ones out there, man.
Yeah. I mean, are you telling them to us?
You know what I will? You know what, I should do that. What is wrong with me today? What is wrong with my?
You turned 50 and now you're almost dead.
One foot in the grave, the other on a banana peel. Story of my life. Actually, can go by. We can actually. I'm just going to do a couple. We will go in alphabetical order by state.
Ooh.
I know. That way we can kind of pick them up every once in a while. So what's the best state to start in? Alabama.
Of course it is.
Right. Now, you would think that
if you tell me I can't marry my sister anymore, I'm going to be pissed.
You would think that one would be in the books, but it is not because it's Alabama. So folks in most
Get over here, girl.
Ain't no law in the books.
Sit on Bubby's lap.
Bubby. Dude, have you ever seen on YouTube, there was like a documentary done with interfamily breeding in Kentucky.
No,
and it's
gross.
it is,
That's why they're dumb.
dude. I seriously, I think I watched
Are you talking about
most
the
of it with
thing
my jaw dropped.
where the guy is like barking?
Yes, yes. Like they're
Dude,
so
what?
mentally, their brains are so mentally screwed up.
Yeah,
that
is
they're-
He communicates through barks.
Yeah, they're
breeding with your
severe.
direct
This is
bloodline
generational.
creates retardation.
Yeah, this is, I mean, in not just retardation, we're talking generational, like 4 generations of it. And it was ridiculous. And they die at like 20 or 30. Like it is incredible, which makes sense that they would just keep interbreeding because they die so early, right? I mean,
You only live once, man.
yeah. Unbelievable. And they live in these like trailers, if you want to call them like mobile trailers, dude.
Right.
Just absolute tenements. It's fascinating. If you guys ever get a chance, you guys got to YouTube that. I think there's a couple parts to it, Elijah, too. It's ridiculous.
Well, if you find out what the name
Yeah.
of it is, let me know. I'd be
Hold
interested
on.
to.
It's called the
Yeah.
Whitaker family.
Dude, it's
Oh, is it just one family?
well,
Here, look.
why would you need another one? There's so many in the family.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
I told you, it is fucking fascinating. Inbred family, the Whitakers.
Oh no! Now I don't
Yep.
want to watch it. Oh,
So they
Oh,
do
but you
these
can't
updates.
not watch it, man.
Yeah. So like
They did a
this one guy
follow-up.
did it. Yeah, they did a follow-up. So like I think it was like 5 or 10 years ago, and then they did a follow-up, and it is just insane.
Wow.
Insane.
wow!
Yeah. So in Alabama, folks, in Mobile, Alabama, you may have a difficult time carrying out pranks. I said it, and then, Mike, this is going to affect you.
It will.
City has.
Well,
a
that's why I
city-
left Alabama.
I know,
if you
that is one
remember.
of the reasons. That and
Yeah.
there were some family issues there.
Yeah.
You had
Yeah.
turned down too many times.
Come here, sit on Bubby's lap. Come on.
I ain't doing it.
I'll go on, get.
Come on, now, ski down. The city has a ban on
Make me get the switch again.
dude. The city mobile, and it's not like mobile. It's not like it's like William, Alabama, where like so you're like William. I never even heard of William, Alabama. There's like 5.
I
people
think
there.
it would be Willem.
Willem. Yeah,
Willem.
you're right.
Willem.
You're
Willem,
right.
Alabama.
Well, you did live there for a bit, so you would have
That's
the
exactly where I
speak
was
down.
from. Yeah.
But this is mobile or mobile. I'm not sure how they
Mobile, Alabama.
mobile. The city has a ban on freaking silly
City
string,
of sisterly love.
silly string,
Sisterly and brotherly love.
sisterly, definitely brotherly love. It says it definitely in there
City,
too in their little
city
quote.
of family love.
Silly string, plastic, confetti, and stink balls
What?
that create quote disagreeable odors. So that's why you got kicked out, dude. There it is. It's a disagreeable odor ordinance. Violations of misdemeanor codes carry a fine of $500 or imprisonment of a year, dude.
Which is basically your year's salary in Alabama. So you're
Dude, can you
screwed.
imagine getting caught with stink balls? The guy's got a rifle, a fucking shotgun in a rack in the back seat area. The guy's like,
He's
step
got
out of
silly string.
step out of the car, please. No, why? What? I mean, this is clearly. I'm allowed to do this. It ain't about your. It ain't about your.
What's
gun,
this?
son.
It's
What's
shaving
this?
cream.
Good
Yeah,
Lord,
it's silly string, boy.
This- What's this? Is this confetti? No, it's not really confetti. It's it's Easter time. It's for these little Easter basket things.
It's
for my
edible
kids.
cream for my sister. I put it on her, sir.
The guy's like, "All right, you can go." Can
Now you
believe
promise
that,
this for your
dude?
sister, right? I do, sir. All right,
I
y'all
do,
can go.
I do, sir. In Alaska, bar hopping in Alaska could get you into some trouble. State law prohibits a drunk. It prohibits a drunk person from quote knowingly entering or remaining in a
What?
licensed bar. Doing so is a Class A misdemeanor, which could cost you up to $10,000
Whoa.
or a year in prison.
How are you, if you're already drunk, how are you going to knowingly or not knowingly stay somewhere or go somewhere else?
It's so ridiculous. And I can
Why'd you
tell
go to the other bar? I don't know. I was hammered.
I was completely obliterated.
I was hanging out with the Inuits, and
You know, the defense attorney's like, I rest my case, Your Honor. And first of all, in Alaska,
everybody
where-
drinks. That's all they do.
oh my God, dude. When I went there,
It's like the
public
highest
drunkenness
per capita
on-
hammered group in the universe.
public drunkenness in Anchorage, we were walking around downtown Anchorage, which I can assure you guys, Anchorage is not a big place. I think it has a couple 100,000 people, which you think, oh, that's a pretty good amount. That is not a large amount of people, and nothing is over like 2 stories there. So when you're in downtown area, you feel like you're not even in like a Birmingham or something, or even a Royal Oak. It is a little bit different. But yeah, there was public drunkenness everywhere. A lot of the Eskimos are part of that. Like, it's just a very cultural thing. It's really, we saw street fights. Like, I was
Yeah.
there for like 3 days. I'm like, do these guys like, I seriously, you could have probably scouted for the UFC, just walking downtown Anchorage. It was that bad. At least
Yeah.
it felt that bad. Cause you don't normally see.
Well, it's
People
dark
fighting
for
on
like
the
9
street,
months
so.
of the year. Is all you can do is drink and fight,
Yeah.
and
And-
build igloos.
Yeah. And in downtown Anchorage,
Go
what-
watch them film Deadliest Catch.
Yeah, exactly, on the Bering Strait. But the problem is, it's not like you can just go bar hopping anyway in Anchorage or anywhere. Like in Anchorage, I use Anchorage because that's where I was. I went to a couple other places that are much smaller. It's not like it's not like the Miracle Mile. It's not like, or the Magnificent Mile or whatever. It's not like there's a bunch of bars. Like
The
it's like
Anchorage
there's like
Strip.
one. Yeah. There's like 15 bars. No, it's not like that at all. So $10,000 for one drunken night of fun.
That's
whatever.
intense.
Yeah, I know. I'm
That's
gonna save
also
the
why I
rest of
had
it.
to leave Alaska. I just ran out of money.
Yeah, you got prosecuted too many times. You got charged $10,000 way too many times.
Yeah,
This
that
does happen to you.
thankfully, back in the 90s, they would just let you leave if you couldn't afford it. That was their way to get you out. Like,
It
you can
was-
pay us
it was a
$30,000. You can pay us $30,000, so you can never come back. And I was like, all right, I'll leave. I've had enough of Alaska anyway.
Oh my God.
So that's 2 states out for me so far.
You got banished from Alaska.
I'm exiled.
You know what you'd have to imagine what you have to do to get banished from Alaska, because most people move to Alaska because they can't survive in the rest of the world.
Right.
So that's amazing. So what do you got? What else you got?
Oh man. So I'm gonna do 2 stories back to back. Okay.
Ooh.
One about a bad cop, and then one about 2 bad fentanyl dealers.
And a cup.
And maybe, but here's the interesting part, because there's not a lot of information on this first story, but
Okay.
the culmination of this is what's interesting to me. Okay, so the headline reads, "University cop indicted for setting fires on campus while on duty."
Oh my God. Are you serious?
University of Maryland. A police officer was indicted on arson charges Monday for setting 4 fires on campus. While he
Oh
was on
my
duty.
God.
Prosecutor said that 36-year-old UMBC police officer Walter T. Christopher has set 4 fires since
Oh my
December
God.
of 2021. Court records show that the fires were set in a trash can and a box of newspapers in the campus library, in a bathroom in the chemistry building, in a university office, and in another bathroom.
What
When
the
several
fuck?
arson incidents were reported on campus beginning in December, UMBC police immediately worked with the state fire marshal to investigate themselves.
What?
Today, based on the result of this joint
It's a conflict
investigation,
of interest.
the office of the state fire marshal arrested Walter Christopher, who has been a member of the police force for 2 years,
Oh my
on
God.
charges related to the reported arsons. He's been suspended and moved to non-officer status pending the outcome. But get this, he's facing 12 charges that include all of destruction of property, arson, malicious burning, different little
Mhm.
subcategories. But here's the deal. When he was indicted by a grand jury, he was taken into custody and held without bond.
What?
Yes. I mean, that's how it's reported here.
Well,
was
he's clearly
officer-
a shitty firefighter. He's a horrible arsonist. Why? He's literally no danger to anybody.
Yeah, he literally couldn't get the job done 4 times. Officer Christopher was taken into custody and held without bond at the Baltimore County Detention Center. That was as reported by WMAR. So that's what we know, right? So I just want you to hold on to that. Now, this cop is a piece of if he's really an arsonist, hey, innocent until proven guilty, whatever. If he really was trying to burn down the campus, that's a bad thing. Don't do that, kids. But assuming let's assume that he's guilty. Okay, he was held without bond.
That's crazy.
For lighting a fire in a trash can. Okay.
So I get it. It's a felony. I get it. But still.
But let's
This is one hot article, Mike.
Yeah, I know. But you jump over to law enforcement today and just juxtapose this with the alleged fentanyl traffickers, Jose Zendejas and Benito Madrigal. These 2 suspected fentanyl dealers from a Mexican cartel skip arraignment. Shocker. After walking on cashless bail.
Oh my God.
So I just want you guys to see one story next to the other when it comes to why I say that we have a massive problem in the criminal justice system, and it has nothing to do with cops. It has everything to do with the inconsistencies in how the prosecution process goes.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. It's horrible.
Now I understand states rotch. I understand states will differ, but the point stands, right? You've got in one part of the country, a cop lights a fire in a trash can and gets no bond, and then 2 cartel members can deal fentanyl and walk on cashless bail.
Wow.
They were caught on June 24th with 150,000 fentanyl pills, and they were released on their own recognizance less than a day after their arrest.
I seriously thought you were going to say $150,000 worth.
No, this was $750,000 worth.
I was going to say, but you did not say that.
That did not include the 2 kilos of cocaine,
which nobody even cares about. I mean,
nobody cares about anymore.
Crockett and Tubbs.
So, they're still out there. They're still out there on their boat. Elijah, if you're still in the chat, we need some Miami Vice theme music, please. You should have been ready for that.
He really should have been ready for that.
You're supposed to predict our articles and our jokes. All right. So if convicted, of course, they could face up to 14 years in prison. But the problem is, so it says their bail was originally set at $1 million each, but the county's probation department risk assessment deemed them both a low risk for flight. Why would the Mexican cartel members leave? Why would they try to skirt the justice system? I don't know.
That's
so they're like, yeah, you're fine.
You'll be fine. It's gonna be fine. Everything's fine. Hold on, wait.
Oh.
Yeah. They're out there searching for these guys as we speak.
Yes, they are. We're chasing Madrigal right now.
I forgot this is a good little opening too.
Heck yeah. Don Johnson in his all white suit. Never eating spaghetti.
How could he? He wouldn't be able to afford the dry cleaning bill.
Then he would look like Daniel LaRusso in Karate Kid, spilling spaghetti all over his white outfit.
Oh my God. How old are we? Well, I know how old I am.
Whoa!
That is not me. Come on.
So good. I'm going to put this on my car today on my way to your house and just drive really fast.
How could you not?
Hell yeah, brother.
Take the Viper out for a spin. Blasting this. Wear your white suit though. This is gonna be awesome.
I used to have a white suit.
I bet you do.
Because I played this character for a youth group of like the Apostle Tobias or something like that. I made this extraordinary like Christian spirit-filled dude, like televangelist. and I would make random appearances at the youth group as this Apostle Tobias or something like that. I can't remember if that's what I
It
called
just,
him or
like,
not.
You're like a mixture of like Boss Hog and
It
some like
was very Boss
crazy
Hoggish, based on my barrel-like structure.
barrel-like structure. Oh my god,
Anyway, I just wanted to point out the oddities of that bail problem.
dude, that's insane. That really is ridiculous. I mean, it just we see that all the time, but I feel like we've dumbed it down so much in our head that it until you put a side by side comparison, it makes it actually laughable. So that we can actually laugh about it, but you got sometimes you got to laugh so that you don't cry, right? And man, it's so crazy to even think about that because. And obviously, anytime you're just going to let some guy, two guys with 150,000 pills, fentanyl pills, go without any kind of bond, that already sounds ridiculous, right? But you could have put it at, we'll say, $100,000, and
Right.
or $200,000, and it still would sound ridiculous compared to the guy who gets no bond for lighting a trash can on fire. He's like, it was the circular file, man. I was just kidding. I was like, he's like acting like he's shredded, like he thought he was doing God's work by getting rid of some of the sensitive material for the university.
Just took it upon himself.
That'll be his defense.
He really got fired because it was like the mortgage statement for the school president.
No shit. Right.
Didn't know how much to pay his mortgage payment for now.
It always comes down to that, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh. What do you got?
I have this one's labeled a good read. I don't even what am I doing? Let's see. I don't know if I want to read that one though, because I have whatever option I want. Oh, here's a good one. So, New York police investigators suspended after handcuffing a black EMT in emergency room. Here's the
oh, wait a second. Is this the one, dude? I think I screenshotted this. Is this where the guy was parked in the ambulance bay and they had an accident and it was the cop's fault?
No, actually.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I don't think that's it. This one I think is a different one than that. It's because they were unloading a patient, I think. So, oh, yes, it was an accident, but it wasn't an accident. I don't know how bad the damage was. So this is okay. We'll read it so people can.
Yeah. I meant to tell the story and I forgot to look it up because I screenshot it like 5 days ago or whatever.
I'm glad I was able to pop this one in there. That's the quote: "If she was a petite, short white woman, would this have happened to her? Absolutely not." The EMT's attorney said. This is why I hate.
I love how you can read back into someone's mind what they would have done,
of course,
under completely different circumstances that don't exist.
Well, they just paint.
Dave, you're gonna piss. Dave, I feel it.
It's coming up. It's bubbling up.
I'm getting riled up, man.
Bubbling up. And upstate,
you knew this would happen. You knew this would happen, Dave.
No, I didn't. This time I did. An upstate New York police investigator is on a paid suspension after handcuffing a black EMT inside a hospital emergency room last week. The encounter began when Monroe Ambulance EMT Lakia Smith hit a Rochester police investigator's car with her vehicle's door while unloading a patient in the ambulance bay of Strong Memorial Hospital. The investigator, who is white, asked for her ID, but Smith wanted to transport the patient inside the hospital first, sources told the news station. Video shows Smith with the patient on a stretcher when the investigator handcuffs her and brings her out outside. This is hilarious to me. It's unclear how the patient fared. That's no shit. That wasn't me making it up. That's in the article. In a statement, Monroe Ambulance EMT commended Smith for focusing on her patient despite the interaction with the investigator. The Rochester Police Department and the Rochester Police Accountability Board, here we go again, are investigating per the Democrat and Chronicle newspaper. That's what it's called, Democrat and Chronicle newspaper. The department has yet to reveal the investigator's identity. Quote, if she was a petite, short, white woman, would this have happened to her? Thompson has absolutely not. So wait, was this a
shape-shifting reptilian from Venus? Would this have happened? Like what is it? The fuck are you talking about, dude? You're just making shit up now.
So are we saying, because I don't know what the woman that got arrested looks like, but is she just the opposite? So if she's not petite, short, white, is she a fat, tall black woman? I don't know.
She's
I don't know.
6'9". She's 6'9", 340.
620 pounds. What? Rochester Police Union
Took
the
6
locus-
sets of cuffs.
6 sets of cuffs. The
3 is the
Locust
most I ever
Club-
used for those that are
Dude,
wondering.
I mean, there are some-
3.
Let's be honest. There's some big people in this world. Not gonna
There's
lie.
some big people in this world. They need 3 seats on the airplane, and they have
Yep.
to fit in the back of a Crown Vic.
Yeah.
It's not
and
easy.
I saw the Green Mile. I know how big people can be.
I'm sorry, boss.
I'm sorry, boss.
Sorry, I'm so big, boss. My mom said I have big bones, boss.
It's not Forrest Gump. You can't do that.
Mama says. Oh wait, that's Adam Sandler. That's the Water Boy. That's not Forrest Gump. Mama says all them
Forrest-
prisoners are so angry because I got all them arms and too much fat to handcuff.
Mom, his mom says that to him. Rochester's Police Union, the Locust Club, said Smith and the investigator reached a mutually acceptable resolution that day when both the investigator and the EMT were able to jointly discuss the reasons for their actions, and both accepted each other's explanations, according to the Democrat and Chronicle. Thompson denied that claim. Quote, I pray that this never happens to anyone again, and I also pray that the justice that is needed in this situation is served swiftly, Smith said in a statement on Monday. And then the article just ends. So
There's an online friend of mine, Dr. Mike Simpson. He's in the military, did some SWAT medic stuff. Knowledgeable dude. So he said this is exactly about this circumstance why I forbade police cruisers from parking in my ambulance bay when I was chief of emergency medicine. I'm probably the most pro law enforcement physician on the planet, but this officer was wrong 3 times. Number 1, parking in the ambulance bay. 2, not taking responsibility for interfering with an emergency vehicle. 3, egotistically flexing and feeling the need to body slam a 120-pound female. Oh, so she wasn't fat. 120 pounds.
That actually makes me a little more disappointed now because I like my description better.
Yeah.
I actually like yours better. 6'9" is a great description.
6'9", 340.
340. And he somehow was able to manhandle her.
Yeah. Egotistically flexing and feeling the need to body slam a 120-pound female because she prioritized patient care over apologizing to him for something that was clearly his fault. So he said, notice the ambulance bay is called the, quote, ambulance bay, not, quote, any vehicle with lights and sirens bay.
Well, let me ask you about this because I think this actually brings up a pretty good point. It's private property, right?
Uh-huh.
So technically, he could park where he wants to in certain places. It's by law, he hasn't done anything wrong by law.
Right.
I mean, right? I mean, am I wrong on that? I don't think that I am because
No, I
again,
mean, they
it's
can
private
determine who gets
property.
to park where, though. So if somebody's like,
They-
you can't park here,
Yes,
then
yes, hospital
that could-
policy can decide that, but it does, would that hold up in case law? And I don't think that it necessarily would. It's
Yeah,
like
don't know.
if I put down yellow lines where I want people to park in a parking lot, and somebody races through and hits my car, it's still a private property accident, no matter what. It's not a this guy went outside the lines. There's no MCL for that in that
Right.
regard.
Yeah.
So it's a private property accident. So I understand by hospital policy the officer was wrong. I get that.
Yes.
And there's no doubt. But was he just by law not allowed to park there? And I would have to say I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah.
And if she hit his door, that is a private property accident, right?
Yes.
So again, I'm just trying to tear it apart.
So why
because
handcuff her?
Right. It's a
While
weird
she's got a
concept.
patient, that's
She's-
kind of stupid.
She's unloading a patient. Now, again, I didn't watch the video, so I don't know how far that got. But I feel like I feel like they did it. Did that happen inside when she transported the?
No, it
patient?
sounds like it happens outside, but I don't know.
Well, they say they did
Sounds
it,
like
and then
it,
they
but-
brought her outside. So I don't know. Okay, here's actually on video here. Advertisements. So stupid. Yeah, so it shows here. Oh, attention. This video contains graphic. Oh,
What are you watching?
that's I don't know. This is stupid. This isn't even the same article.
You got
This is-
hit. You're in some kind of
seriously,
weird
it's-
tunnel of
no,
ads, and you've
no,
clicked on
so-
videos.
No, I did the video that's attached to this, and it's not the same video. It actually bumps you to a whole nother police officer tackling a black lady with her kid there.
Weirdos.
Well, that's the clickbait, right? So yeah. So
Well-
here it is. Here it actually is. So they get her in here. Actually, she's inside.
Oh, okay.
They're inside. This patient is inside the hospital. He goes, she pulls away because he's arresting her, and then he takes her outside. That's
Interesting.
interesting. Yeah, I don't know how that would play in the law. I mean, is once the patient gets into the hospital, is that deemed like, is she still under anybody's care or not? He doesn't
Yeah.
touch her until they're already in there. So I don't know. It's weird. God, that's a weird one. So weird. Clearly never should have happened, but
Right.
somebody he just the problem is he, like you said, it could be an ego thing, right? So
Yeah,
we'll have
who
to
cares?
see more of the situation
it
on
go.
that one.
But
Yeah,
that's
right,
that's
thank you.
the end of my career, Mike talking. End of my
Right,
career,
it's-
Mike was like, was anybody murdered? Just anybody.
Yeah, at all murdered, even accidentally.
Okay, so somebody was murdered. Did anybody like this person?
Anybody.
Were they well respected by anybody?
Okay, somebody did like the person. Did more than 10% of the people in this room?
What
like
about
this
that guy that
person?
liked him? Does anybody like him? Are you going to go arrest this guy or what? Well, I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Well, hey, whoa. I don't come to your job and tell you how to do it.
You see me coming to your house and telling you how to live your life.
Oh,
All right. I have I don't know how much more time you got, but
I have time for one more.
one more because I kind of got one quick headline and then a related
All right, do
thing
your
to
thing.
this. I just wanted to let everybody know that in Kalamazoo, Michigan, if you want to urinate, litter, or shit on the street, it's now okay.
Yes. See,
and-
and that's why you live in Kalamazoo for a while too.
That's
But that is also why you left, but now it's okay. So you can move back there, dude.
yeah, I really felt like I couldn't be myself when I was downtown there, and now I could make the move back, I guess, at this point. But the Kalamazoo City Commission unanimously voted to amend more than 24 sections of ordinance codes. As a result, 6 violations that were formerly misdemeanors, punishable by jail time, are now just civil infractions subject to fine only. Public defecation, urination, and littering are among the offenses that are now decriminalized.
Fucking
So-
unbelievable.
So, hey, they said misdemeanor can stick with you as long as a felony. That's not fair. You know, if you go
I-
full Alaska and just do your business in the street, you know, you don't want that to hang with you forever. You don't want to
Dude.
end up like me where you can't go back to a whole state. So,
Yeah. Believe me.
um,
Yeah, and not just that, but also be banished from another state.
yeah. So if that's your thing, Kalamazoo welcomes you with open arms. So I just wanted to let you know.
I say
but-
move there.
But the last one we'll do today is Ann Arbor police remove names of community events after social media backlash. And when we talk about this idea of what if
That
that
sounds like Ann
EMT
Arbor.
was white, and you kind of like, well, what if all kinds of things, like
Yeah.
how about we deal with reality instead of a bunch of what ifs? So Ann Arbor police have removed the names they plan to use for these free police pop-up events in August after backlash on social media. So these are free community events that they are doing for like families as a whole in the community. And that's not good enough. It's racist, basically.
Oh.
The first event was called Frozen Treats with the Heat on August 4th, promised free popsicles and fun for all ages in a farm-themed park. The next 3 events, they really set people off. Right?
Whoa.
Catch Me If You Can on August 11th was the title of a baseball game between police and neighborhood kids. Bring your baseball glove and play catch with the cops, the flyer advertised. The next one was take the cops to court on August 18th and invited kids to shoot hoops and play basketball with some of your favorite officers. And then finally, get booked before school was the title of an August 26th pop-up event that invited children to bring a picnic blanket and listen to stories read by officers at Burns Park. The flyer said police officers would be giving out free school supplies to children in attendance. The phrases were crafted to attract attendees to the police department. However, they fell flat with many in the community. This is beyond racist and horrific. It is so bad, it feels like it's intentionally mocking black people. One person wrote when Ann Arbor Public Schools shared the flyer on its Facebook page. It appeared a few people found humor in the catchy phrases. Take a cop to court, another person wrote, as in the hundreds of cops currently in court for killing, injuring, ruining the lives of citizens of color. Wow, that's so not funny at all. The specifically catch me if you can makes me sick to my stomach. The cops play this, quote, game regularly and people die. So many people complained that the police department announced it was changing the name of the events. So they caved and they turned their penises into vaginas. We understand that the names of some of the events are distracting from the intent of the program. So we've removed the terms from these events and are instead calling them pop-up events. Ann Arbor Police Sergeant Mark Pulford said, we have been and will always be committed to connecting positively with our youth. And that is our intention here.
What if like they did
I would have, this is where I would have been fired because I would have changed the flyer and posted on the Ann Arbor Police page, hanging out with you fucking pieces of ingrateful shit. And then I would have been fired.
What if they did have one called like hanging on Howard Street? And like it was like this.
There was a guy
little,
named Howard.
clown,
kids had to hang on to him.
But it was like this clown guy, the cowboy guy, and he's showing like how to do lasso tricks. But it's called hanging on Howard Street. They just didn't get the idea. They're like, dude, you can't do that. What do you mean? Why? I don't understand. We're just. He's like, see, and then I could understand. You'd be like, no, dude, you can't. Are you out of your mind? You can't do that. The guy's like, well, what are you talking about? Howard the clown hanging with Howard.
Gosh. Wow.
It's so stupid.
If you have a pet a dog event and call it Mr. Stone Cypher's Dogs, it's like from Django, where the dogs are chasing down the slaves. Yeah, then maybe we're crossing some lines.
Then we got a problem, right? Then but yeah, that's just people look. They are desperate for attention. Desperate. They don't care about these events for families.
No.
Where there is a bridge, a literal bridge of hands coming together between the police department and the
Not good
citizens
enough.
of
Nope.
this community. No. They need the attention is what the problem is. So that they have to cry and whine and bitch about shit that doesn't exist so that they get the attention that they need. And especially if they get a name change from that, then they have done God's work. They finally have done God's work. And everyone can bow to them.
We really need police departments to go, no, I'm not changing the name of the event. No, I won't do it. We need police chiefs with a backbone who say, no, we're doing these events to benefit the community, and we're going to go do the event. And that's what it is. We're calling it that. We're having a sense of humor. We're being ourselves, and that's it. This is who we have been hired to do this job, and we're going to go do our job. Now leave us alone. And that would be a hill that I would die on, not because the name matters too much, but because the principle matters a whole lot. Like, no way, man.
I'm not going to let you take this and run with this. I'm not going to let you have this one.
No, because all it does is make it look like, we did have racial undertones there, so we needed to change it.
Yeah, we clearly made a huge mistake with Howard. Howard the cowboy clown. And his rope tricks.
Oh my gosh.
Hanging with Howard, man. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Racist.
You racist.
Ann Arbor police.
Yeah, I can't stand them anymore. They're so racist. Wow. All right. Well, that's been the show, guys. Hope you feel safe from the internet because Dave and I were out there patrolling it for you. To stand between you and the harmful information that's out there about law enforcement.
Dark web too. Every night. I go as deep as I have to. Come on, Elijah.
Who are you talking to? Elijah?
What?
What?
What happened to the music? It was like all warbly and slow, man.
That is not my fault. This is StreamYard's fault, man.
You are the
Their new
producer. You
background
had an
music
hour.
thing
We've
is
been going for an
garbage.
hour and 14 minutes, and you could have had this sorted out.
I can't control this. I can't.
You
control
are the
the
one in
speed.
control.
No,
It's
I'm
you.
not.
You are the producer.
No,
He should have been
StreamYard. It's all in
asking
there. It's
Brooke,
StreamYard's
How
fault,
does it
man.
sound to you? That's how he should have been doing it. I'm just saying. You screwed up.
Okay, well, I don't know what 50-year-old throws himself a birthday party.
I didn't.
And
Eh.
you didn't.
I didn't.
did.
The diversity team is
Nope,
throwing
She did it.
Yeah.
Nah.
She's using
In
my
your
money
face.
for it.
That didn't work
Yeah.
out so well for you,
You know
did
what?
it?
In your face, Elijah, because you're not coming anyway. Screw
I know.
you.
What are you packing? a camper?
Guys, I've got a pack for my camping trip.
I have to pack. I'm going. On a
I wanted to
camping
do it
trip.
yesterday.
I've got
But-
Well, you
got a
should
pack
have.
No.
for it.
Then you
I,
could've
pack
gone
well,
on a
I
crap
wish
party.
I wish I would.
Everybody else is invited, except you. Now you've been uninvited.
You're uninvited. You can't come if you want to now.
Now I'm gonna show up with
Now
a
if there's a
pop up. I'm gonna
fire.
put it in his front yard, and that's where I'm camping.
Camping trip is now Dave's front yard.
Fine. I'm all secretly happy about it.
Just Elijah's out in his underwear in the morning, like making coffee.
I'm bringing out a cup of Joe in the morning. He's like, gets out and stretches with just his tidy whities on. He's like,
I was in my
It's
underwear when
nice
I
and
showed
fun.
that house. Remember, I like had my pants down when you and the diversity team showed up, and I was standing in the front door with my pants down.
You did that?
Yeah, I was waving.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah,
That's the only reason I bought the house. I have good memories.
I have so many good memories here so far. Oh my gosh!
Do you remember that one house we looked at and it had like that panther, like mural in the bedroom? It was like a panther or something like that. It was
Yes.
crazy. We took pictures of it. Dude,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Weird stuff,
Anyway.
man. There's weird stuff out there. All right. Anyway, play us some music, dude. Are you gonna
Yeah.
outro us
Dude,
or what?
it's StreamYard won't let me.
Oh my god!
What are you
Here, I knew
talking
it.
about?
It won't let me do it.
I got my cat crying. My cat's upset now.
There we go. Oh yeah.
It's not up to me. StreamYard does it. It's annoying.